I don't know who started it first. I can tell you that the getting crazy on collecting, um, probably your dad started doing that because I was happy with my three and that, and then he turned me on and oh, you try this, and then he's coming over and I'm like, wow, I'm gonna get these bottles because then we can try these, and then it became the thrill of the chase, right? The thrill of the hunt. And during COVID, I know there, a lot of people. This is a milestone or a landmark in all our lives. But during COVID, what was open? The liquor stores, and I was able to go to some liquor stores throughout the state. I was an essential worker, and I got to go throughout the state, and liquor stores were open, and I was finding bottles that were hard to find or that I hadn't been able to get because I think there was less pressure on it. And so that's when my collection really started to grow. Well, here's my collection. There isn't a whole lot of organization because there's some bottles that are placed because they won't fit on the shelves. They got to be on top, right? Like these some of these tall, high-necked ones and that. But the collection started with just this rack here and not as many bottles. As you can see up top here, it's mainly my Buffalo Trace stuff with a few stragglers of like Three Boys, a couple of infinity bottles that I created. One thing for all you geeks, this is my Weller 12-year. Bottle is circa 2016. This was the last year that they made this bottle. They went to this shape bottle. The other thing I wanted to show you collectors is that, as these bottles, I drink them. I don't just collect them and put them on the shelf. So if you see bottles that are pretty full, it's because I've replaced an old bottle. And most of these you'll see are also pretty low. So in the next shelf, I got my Old Forester, which I really like, and then my Remus collection. I'm pretty proud of the Remus collection. I got the Repeal 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then I have a couple single barrels and some nice Remus bottles. Knob Creek, one of the only Jim Beams I like. That, and of course the Old Granddad. 1792 collection. I have one of every bottle except the rye, and I'm pretty proud of that. You can see those bottles are at different levels. And one I have a backup on. Thank you, Kyle. And then Then down here, of course, it's just a hodgepodge of different bottles. I like to think that I have a pretty decent collection of stuff. This Evan Williams, I got back when it was like $23, $24 a bottle, and it's now about $40, $45, $50 a bottle, and it's only in Kentucky. So when I make a trip to Kentucky, this is one of my dad's favorites. I have to go over and get this for him. And then, because the collection continued to grow, and not all these bottles started here, and then I created this. I've also retired probably, I have a list, but probably 40, 50 bottles in that. So, but my collection got big enough. I started off with 2 bottles on each row with a little more space between them. Now it's gotten more compact and 3 deep. And we've got this. And then again, on this, as you can see, I'm a fan of makers. I like a lot of makers. For those of you who have heard me before, you know that my 3 bourbons that I started with was Makers, Eagle Rare 10-year, and then the Buffalo Trace. And those are the first bourbons that I started drinking, and then of course it's grown. Got a good collection of some different old elks, some bottles that longtime listener Larry has sent us. Those of you who know who he is. Thank you, LT. A Jack Daniels collection. So the funny thing about Jack Daniels is I used to drink this, and Craig and I used to drink this. When we started drinking bourbon, we kind of turned our nose up at it. But I got to tell you, since they've come out with the Barrel Select, a single barrel proof, the 10 and 12 year, and even the bonded, I really like. And then, the rest, again, is just kind of a collection. I got Peerless and the Peerless Rye. I've got about 4 bottles of rye in here. Ben Holiday, their bourbon and their wheated bourbon. I have all those in the Rick House. Rebel, Ezra Brooks, and then Glens Creek. We made a little trip to Glens Creek. Enjoyed that, and I got their corn, all corn bourbon, and then I got their sweet wheat, and those are kind of nice, different kind of bottles to have and try. So that's my collection. I have it here for people to enjoy, and of course for me to enjoy. But as you can see, there's a lot of half full or nearly empty bottles.
Why has collecting bourbon been important to you?
Why has it been important to me? I guess one is that I do enjoy it, and I tend to, if there's things that I enjoy, sometimes I go a little overboard on in that. But it's social too. It's having the opportunity to share with people, to maybe educate them, or enjoy them enjoying an experience or trying something new. And then for the more seasoned person, it's just kind of nice that, hey, I have something here that maybe they haven't tried and they've wanted to try, so they can try it here. Or they have a bourbon that it's hard for them to find, allocated bourbon, and I have it. So I get to share it with them. I'm happy to share it with them.